Hi, this is GAC022 Assessment Event 3. I'm Andrea and I'm going to present my oral presentation. I'm going to be talking about my marketing overseas of Grupo Cerveza Modelo to Korea and Spain. First, I'm going to start with my agenda. I'm going to give a brief introduction of what this brand is about, the methods I used for these presentations, my peso analysis for Spain and Korea, the PAG, the competition marketing mix, the interviews I made to two business administrators, then my conclusions, which I'm going to conclude what we've talked on this presentation. I'm going to finish with my references and then with 5 minutes of Q&A, questions and answers. Okay, so first I want to talk to you about what is Grupo Cerveza Modelo. Grupo Modelo bought this beer and make it a great part of Mexican culture, and it's basically a huge part of Mexican culture because it's part of our flavors, and it has been here with us since 1925, which is a long time ago. And it was created in Mexico City, and it has become globally. It has exported this brand over 150 countries, which is a lot. And it's basically part of our culture now. And this type of beer has several types also. For example, this one that it's called ABV of 4.4% of beer, of alcohol. And it's basically really important for Mexicans, this flavor, and has been on our culture for a really long time. These are some things that I'm going to be talking about specifically. The purpose, which is the market overseas of Grupo Modelo to Spain and Korea. I'm going to tell you about the peso analysis that I've done of these countries and the interviews I've made to two business administrators, Renata Capdeviel and Andres Cero. And I'm gonna tell you about the target market that I have on each country, because it's really important, not only talking about how I'm gonna get the product there and what I'm gonna do with it, but also tell you about the target market that I have there. For example, just to give you a preview, I have a huge market on Korea, which 40% of people drink beer as their alcoholic beverage. So that's literally my target market. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about my methodology. My primary methodology was online research, which was basically to search about what these countries have, what type of beverages they already have, such as Spain that has a big part of beverages, of alcoholic beverages, what type of things they already have, and what I could import and add to do better, and for also my brand, what to do better. And as a secondary methodology research, I did interviews to two business administrators, which gave me a really good idea of what to do, since I think that their career that specifically they chose was a really good idea to help me to do my presentation and my interviews, and to get to know what I actually need to import this product. Okay, so this is the peso analysis I did for Spain, which has the main points that I need to analysis of the country and what I'm going to do with my product over there. For example, the political, Europe has a really good agreement to facilitate the imports, specifically the beer imports. I investigate about this, and it's a really good point because it will be easy for me to import my product to their country, specifically to Europe, because it will probably pass through Portugal to get to Spain. The economic, the beer market has a strong local and imported beer sales. it's a really good market, the beer. It's a really strong market of economic of this country. The social cultural, here I put a little bit that people in Spain prefer a little bit lighter larges, but I do think, as a personal opinion, that it would be really good to import this different product, because I think we'll have special value just because of being a foreign product. Technological, I think it's really good because the e-commerce platforms will allow the sales online, which is I think a very important point of how we do sales right now on 2025. Online sales are really basically a strongest point of our economic globalization. The legal part is that this beverage import will include laws, obviously, because it's also a beverage that only mayors could drink. The laws would really will play a role in here, because the import will be a little bit difficult, not difficult, but atypical, because it's for people that are above a certain age. And to finish, environmental, of course I need to think about an eco-friendly packaging and eco-friendly transport, because of course I need to think about being overseas or on an airplane, or what kind of transport I'm going to choose. I think it's really important to think about environmental sustainability thing. Okay, so this is my pestle for Korea. The political government of Korea regulates alcohol imports through tariffs and excessive duties. Comparing it to Spain, political pestle part of my analysis, it was so much easier with Spain. Korea has more excessive duties and tariffs, because that's just what they do. They put these things to make it a little bit harder to pass through and to make it more special. Economic ways, the market with growing demand for premium imported beers are emerging, this means that they do look forward to the beer to be imported to their country, because it's a really good part of what their alcoholic beverages have. Like the most of their people, the 40% of Korean people drink beer as their alcoholic beverage. So of course they want this to be imported into their country. Social cultural will be shifting towards the craft and premium importing beers. Of course, it will be a different beer and a different thing on this country, because it comes from America, like it's another part of the world, and it will be so much different just because it's from another country. Technological wise, it's just as Spain's, of course. The e-commerce would be really strong for these things, because online global sailing, it's really, really big and strong. Legal wise, of course, they also have their special laws to be imported to their country, because it's a beverage that only mayors could drink, so it's important to have certain laws for this. Environmentally wise, we also need to think about how it's going to be imported with an environmental sustainability, with a good impact towards our earth world. Okay, so this is my PNG about my product. This is basically what I think about my product towards these countries that I'm looking forward to import it. To make you a little bit to make it a little bit faster for you, let me tell you about the things that I put into my PNG: the strategy, the market penetration, the brand awareness, the diversification, the racial expansion, the cultural adaptation, and the premium positioning. Of course, this importing a new product from another country, it's important for the country that it's importing it, because it's a huge opportunity to have a huge bonus of sales. But of course, it implicates all of these things, which some of them could be like harder than another one. For example, the positioning of the product. Of course, I need to look for my target market. Who are they going to be? Of course, meters will be my target market, because I'm not going to sell beer to minors. So these are the kind of things I'm looking forward to import my product to another country. So this is my competition marketing mix. This is a Mahu beer of Spain, which is my major competition when I import my beer to Spain. This is my major competition. Mehu beer has all of these products, has like a different types of products, such as my product that also has. But of course, the price regulates, because this is going to be a price that they already have, and my product will be its price, but with a little bit extra, because I'm importing it to another country. The place, of course, it will be so much different, because this is a local beverage. This is a local product. So mine will be a little bit harder. So this competition is really hard for me. But also, for another point, the promotion, maybe it will be easier for me to promote a product that it's new, that it's exciting, that's from virgin, that it's from another place, that it's from another country, from another place of the world totally. These are my interviews. Of course, everything that I'm talking to you right now, it's from what I've learned from these two business administrators. These are the main points that I wanted to put on my presentation. Of course, both of them talk me about the opportunities that my brand has, that my product has while it gets there, and also the strategic market that I need to think about when I get into these countries that are not mine, of course. So for a brief conclusion, importing this product into these two specific countries, it's a really good idea, because I have this huge range of opportunities of good sales and online sales in globalizing this product that can not only stay in Mexico. Of course, I'm thinking of other countries that Grupo Modelo hasn't thought about, but Grupo Modelo already sell this to 150 countries. So I think this will be possible, and I think this is a really good opportunity for my product. These are my references. Okay, so now we're gonna hop into a Q&A section. Does anybody have any question?
Okay, so first of all, how do you think that Grupo Modelo would accomplish its goal in Spain with a lot of competitors in beer?
I think it's gonna be a really hard competition in Spain specifically, because Spain, it's known also for its grand culture, and it's gonna be really complicated to adjust for another brand. But I do think it's possible to add another brand for more market.
Do you think that, related to what you just said, Modelo has an advantage because of its flavor and tastiness?
I do think so, and also because of the culture that brings from Mexico and from Latin America. I think Mexico is a really big country on Latin America, so it has a lot of power on Europe, especially on Spain now with all of the exchange students. I think it's something new that it could get into another country. Another question.
Okay, well, I wanted to ask about Korea. Do you think that Korea's consumers or population in Korea, especially in South Korea, do you think that they actually drink beer to sustain the whole petitions of the market in Korea because of the Grupo Modelo?
Yes, I do think so. It's known that 40 to 45% of Korean people drink beer as their alcoholic beverage. So I do think that putting into another, like, including another brand, including another type of beer, it will be so much, like, it will be a great pop out for the Korean people, because it will be something that they like, and we know they already like. So another question.
Also, I wanted to ask about what do you think is the better options for Grupo Modelo to actually sell these beer or their products outside Mexico? Do you think that the group should produce its beer in Mexico and export it and pay the transportation and everything, or do you think that by setting plantations of beer production in those countries would be better and using Mexican ingredients?
I think the better option is to pay transport for it to take our product to the other side overseas, than the overseas making us pay them to transport our product. I think it will be more economic for our product if they take it, if we pay the transport, and also I think they will take it the correct way because it's our brand.
Okay, and also, last but not least, do you think that by saying that you can make it in Mexico, do you think that you can add some value of authenticity, of personality to their product because it's made in Mexico and you transport it into other countries? Do you think that it can increase its value as general, but not just economically, but also like culturally?
I do think it would increase its value just because it's from another country. I don't think it's more valuable outside of our own country because it's new to other people that are not from our country. Thank you very much.